Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. Hopefully you guys are super excited about 10.2 because at the time of posting this video, 10.2 is either coming out tomorrow or in 2 days if you're EU, so it's right around the corner. And in today's video, I want to talk about a handful of last minute things you should do before patch release, as well as a few things you should do right at the start. So hopefully this can help you make a little bit more gold, save you a little bit more time, and ultimately just make you feel more confident going into the next patch. But everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and let's get started. And so the first 3 recommendations on this list, I highly recommend doing this before patch 10.2. Now I know we're getting limited on time, but don't worry, these 3 things should really only take just a few minutes per character. Up first, if you want to maximize your raw gold, I highly recommend going onto all of your alts and main character and make sure you combined any leftover crest fragments into the full crest. The reason why you want to do this is that fragments and crest are becoming gray or junk items in 10.2, and once that happens, you cannot convert the fragments into crest. Now, both of these items do sell for raw gold, so if you don't convert them, then it's not the end of the world, but the crest actually sell for slightly more gold than the fragments. It's just a few silver, but if you do have a lot of fragments laying around, this can definitely add up. Also, to anybody who wants to possibly craft new gear prior to the start of Season 2, due to all of the embellishment changes, you definitely want to make sure you have your crest ready, because like I said, once 10.2 rolls around and you realize you need more crest than you have, you can't turn those leftover fragments into the crest you need. So definitely be mindful and get ready to vendor them once reset rolls around. Secondly, to just get it out of the way, I highly recommend you turn in any sort of leftover tokens of merit from Season 2 into the vendor, right by the vault inside of the bank. You kind of have 2 options with this. You can turn 2 tokens of merit into 1,000 raw gold, or let's say you have an odd number, you can turn 1 token into a crest. Now that crest is only going to vendor for 5 gold, but hey, if you have a token of merit, you might as well use it. Now, technically, I believe you have until Season 3 starts to actually do this. The tokens aren't going to disappear at 10.2 release, simply the week after, but it's better to be safe than sorry, so if you have them laying around, you might as well use your time now and turn them into some raw gold. Lastly, the big thing that you're going to want to do, if you haven't done it already, is on a single character, you're going to want to complete the 10.2 Prerequisite Questline. This is the questline that you pick up from Shandrith Feathermoon right inside of Valdrakken, and it really only takes about 10 to 20 minutes to complete. Now, in good news, like I said, you only have to do this once, and I highly recommend just to knock it out on your main, because once 10.2 rolls around, this actually becomes skippable on alts. Whenever 10.2 launches, you'll have a little item to use once you pick up this quest, and it allows you to completely skip it. So please don't go and do this on all of your characters. You only have to do it once, and it will become skippable once the patch releases. Now, with all of that out of the way, we can move into the exciting things about what to do once patch actually releases. Now, trust me, there is a lot that you can do, but I want to just highlight 5 or 6 things that I highly recommend you do, definitely at the start, just to make sure you're not missing out on any easy gold. The first thing that I'm personally going to do, and I recommend you do as well, is to quickly jump on your Scribe, go over to the PvP area, and buy the 3 new PvP trinkets from the PvP vendor. If you guys have sold these items from patch 10.0 or 10.1, it's the exact same things. Basically, it's 3 recipes, they cost 3 awakened blood each, so a total of 9 awakened ire, and it's really cheap. Once you have them learned, you can craft a few and quickly throw them on the auction house for some early patch sales. Also, this is a great time to remember that all of the other PvP recipes are found through PvP, and you can simply buy them off the auction house if you don't plan on farming them yourself. So definitely be on the lookout for any sort of cheap recipes that show up early patch because people don't know the value, or maybe you're willing to pay up for it to be one of your first crafters on the server. But don't forget about those PvP recipes, because still to this day, even 2 days before the actual patch, I'm still selling 10.1 PvP gear, so this is a great market, especially for beginners. Up next, what I recommend is that you jump on your main character and you complete the new campaign at least up until you gain the new Dream Warden's Weeklies. The reason why I recommend this is because this allows your alts to quickly grab any sort of weekly quest without having to push through the campaign themselves. For example, the weekly rep quest, the Worthy Ally, you can pick that up before even completing the campaign on your alts, so whenever you do the campaign, those big rep rewards actually counts towards the weekly, and you can get it done super fast. Also, this kind of ties into the next topic, but once you have this unlocked on your main, all of your alts have access to the weekly activities, so you're not really pressured into completing the campaign until you just have some free time later. But of course, you don't have to just, stop after one chapter. Feel free to do as much as the campaign as you can, because rep is always nice, and I know people are definitely chasing some of those rep rewards. But going back to recipes, once you have some spare time during that first week, I highly recommend to jump on your Enchanter and start going around and opening treasures and killing rares to get the new Enchanted Crest recipes. These Enchanted Crest are likely going to be in demand during Season 3, so you might as well start farming them now, so by the time Season starts, you're not stressing for those recipes. And also, assuming the recipes have the same sort of drop rate compared to 10.1, I had no issue getting them within just a few days. Of course, it's a little bit of RNG, but assuming you're getting out there and killing rares and looting treasures every day, you should definitely have all of them by the time the next week rolls around. Very similar and kind of going back to that campaign suggestion, any sort of alchemist, scribe, or cooks, you're going to want to go and make sure you open up dream seeds as well as do the weekly super bloom for a chance at the new recipes. If you guys just heard that sentence and you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, that is completely okay. I'll have a video linked in the description to give you more information about these, but basically these are weekly and daily activities that you can do, and this is how you're going to get the new healing potion, the new contract, a few new glyphs, etc. So any sort of cook, scribe, or alchemist, definitely get out there and do some of those weeklies, because yet again, if you can get it before the season starts, that's amazing and that'll bring you a lot of profit. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is pricing. A lot of people I know are stockpiling for 10.2, myself included, but we definitely have to be careful about what exactly is happening at release to make sure we're not selling ourselves short. For example, many recipes are locked behind raid drops, meaning the demand for them is going to be delayed. A lot of people, when they're stockpiling, they assume that patch day release is going to be the biggest day because that's when people are going to be crafting all of their new stuff, but we have to remember that a lot of recipes are locked behind the raid, so people won't even have their hands on them until a week after, and of course, it relies on RNG. A perfect example of this is the new skinning item called the Antler Fragments. I have a video on this, actually the video right before this one covers that. I will have it linked in the description, but these Antler Fragments that are likely going to be pretty expensive are technically obtainable, once 10.2 releases. Meaning that a lot of skinners are going to go out there and potentially gather them. However, the items that require these antlers, which are 2 embellishments, both drop from the raid, so people won't be able to craft these embellishments until at least the 14th or 15th, depending on your region. So something that can likely happen is that, patch day is going to come around, people are going to start grabbing up and farming up those antler fragments, the stock is going to go up as the days go on, people aren't really going to be buying them because there's no demand, so price might fall. However, once people actually have those embellishment recipes, once the raid is up, we're going to see a lot more people crafting, a lot more people using those antler fragments, and we might see the price rebound. And of course, this doesn't just apply to the antler fragments, but it's something to keep in mind. Release day is of course something big, but we also have to remember that a lot of new things are attached to the raid. So the season start day is also going to be another big patch day. And along those same lines, the last thing that I want to remind you about is remember that cross-realm trading exists. Now, depending on your circumstance with if you have any friends or guildies or a second account, some people are going to be able to do this easier than others, but let's say you are looking for those new embellishment recipes and they're going for a crazy amount of gold on your server, you can definitely, send gold to a different server to buy it for cheaper. Let's say the recipe is going for 2 million on your server, but it's selling for 1 million on Area 52. You might as well quickly trade 1 million gold over to Area 52, buy it and trade the recipe back, and boom, you just save yourself quite a lot of gold. And also, this works the exact opposite. Let's say you are a raider and you're going into the raid and you get super lucky and get one of these recipes and you don't want to use it yourself. Let's say it's kind of cheap on your server. Feel free to send it over to another server and sell it for a premium. If you're on a server where a recipe is only going for 500k, you might be able to send it to another server and get 1 million out of it, or even 2 million. So definitely remember to use cross-realm trading at your advantage, and that can either make you or save you a lot of gold. But yeah guys, that is basically it. I know this definitely doesn't cover everything, there is so many different things that you can do, but hopefully this gives you at least a good amount of starting information so you're not completely lost during patch day. But as always everybody, I hope you guys enjoy 10.2. Trust me, a lot more gold making videos covering this patch is coming, so stay tuned, and as always everybody, have a good day.